Salam and welcome. Is it possible to have unity between India, Pakistan, and Kashmir, including Bangladesh? Bangladesh is East Pakistan, so I'm proposing that we should all strive towards suggesting unity between Kashmir, India, and Pakistan. I know some people will resist the ideas, others will welcome the ideas. 90% of the people, 90% of the people want peace, 10% don't want peace. So I'm talking to the 90% who want peace, to say, people are kind all over the world. We just want peace. So let's try and look at a proposal for unity between India, Pakistan, and Kashmir, and what will that look like for the area. So if you remember, just very briefly, this is the flag of India and Pakistan. This is Africa. This is the African continent. This is the Indian Ocean. Okay, this is the Arabian Sea. This is the Bay of Bengal. This is Saudi Arabia. So this is the Red Sea. That's the two horns of the Red Sea. And that's Yemen. And that's Oman. Dubai is sitting over here. So this is Africa. Ethiopia is over here. That's Iran. That's Afghanistan. And then here is Pakistan. That is India. And that is Bangladesh, which is East Pakistan. That is Nepal. And that is Jammu Kashmir, which is the territory that's under dispute. Okay, so this is the region. Then we know that originally, before when British occupied India, this whole territory, this whole area was one big territory, one huge territory. We had fabulous empires throughout the history of India. The Hindu religion, I'm not too sure. I think the Hindu religion is probably one of the oldest on earth. It's about 4,000 years, 5,000 years old. I don't know. I stand under correction, but please let me know, how old is Hinduism? I don't know. So please let me know. I know it's more than 3,000-4,000 years. So let me know, how old is Hinduism? Let me know in your comments. Let me know in your comments, how old is the Hindu religion? So please, if you know how old is the Hindu religion, let me know in your comments. Okay, so originally this whole area was a huge empire. It was one of the most wealthiest empires on earth. At one stage, India, before the division, it controlled 25% of the economy of the world. So it was fabulously wealthy. Then the Western nation, Britain, saw the wealth of India. There were all these empires of the Indian history, the various empires, Hindu empires and Muslim empires. We know the Taj Mahal was built by Muslims and so on. So then Britain came in, colonial imperialism, and then there was a resistance. We know the resistance by Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and all of these people stood up. Sir Muhammad Iqbal, they all gave input as to how to have the new India. Then India was broken up into India, Pakistan, East Pakistan, which is known as Bangladesh, and then Jammu Kashmir, which is still disputed. So because of British rule, British control, colonial imperialism, India became fragmented. It was now no longer 25% of the wealthiest country on earth. It was now broken up. And the philosophy of Britain is to divide and conquer. Divide and rule. You weaken a nation by finding out what causes problems. So in Africa, they use one tribe against another tribe. So we have problems in DRC, in Democratic Republic of Congo, in Sudan, in Ethiopia, black fighting against black. In South Africa, they use race against white fighting against black in apartheid. Then in India, they're using religion. Muslim fighting against Hindu. So British people are very clever. They will try and figure out what are the causes of dispute. So in India, they said, okay, let's separate the people between Muslim and Hindu. In South Africa, we'll separate them in black and white. In the rest of Africa, we'll separate them in black and black. But your chief is better than my chief, that type of thing. So once you do that, you're breaking the nation. So they broke the nation. They broke it into 4 different pieces. So now India became a nuclear power. Pakistan became a nuclear power. And they're fighting wars all the time, ongoing basis about the problem of Jammu Kashmir. Bangladesh is on this side here. My proposal is, let's not be victims of British occupation. Britain has left India and Pakistan. Britain has left, physically left, but Britain is still in the brains of the people. Britain has occupied our brain. Our brain is in a cage. We got British colonialism in our brain. So Britain is still controlling us. Because if Britain is in our brain, Britain has not left our brain. We are still fighting. Hindus and Muslims are still fighting. So if you hate the Muslims, that means Britain has won. If you hate the Hindus, that means Britain has won. If there's religious fighting, that means Britain has won. That means Britain is still occupying your brain. Britain is still occupying India. So all that I'm saying, let's leave Britain out of it. Why don't we all get united together again and become the most powerful nation on earth? And that is why the Western countries are scared of unity, because this will become an economic giant, an economic hub, and we got intelligent people in this whole area here. They got the best brains in the world. They have the best money. You can make it into another Dubai or another Singapore. But what is stopping us? So let's look at why can't we have unity. So as I mentioned, British policy in the 20th century is divide and rule and conquer. In South Africa, they did black versus white. In India and Pakistan, they did Hindu versus Muslim. Britain has left India, but the British policy, divide and conquer, is still inside our brain. So we haven't got our freedom, because the British policy of divide and rule is still in the brains of the Indian people. Whereas look at the situation in South Africa. We were also under British occupation, but we have resolved our differences. In South Africa, we are very fortunate. We have them all living together nicely with one another peacefully. Muslims living nicely with Hindus and Tamils and Christians and Buddhists and atheists and agnostics and traditional faith healers. We're all living nicely side by side peacefully. Not like what's happening in India and Pakistan. What I'm suggesting or proposing is that these four nations must get together. India, Pakistan, Kashmir and Bangladesh. We must learn from the United Arab Emirates. These are 7 Emiratis. Each one got its own king or sultan, but they work together in harmony with each other. So I'm proposing we must have a united, like how we have the United Arab Emirates, we must have the United Indian Arab Emirates, or the United States of India. So instead of United States of America, we have the United States of India. Instead of United Arab Emirates, we have the United Indian Arab Emirates. We have the United Indian Emirates, where all these four must work in harmony. And if you bring Nepal into the equation, bring Nepal also, because Nepal is very close to us. So bring all 5 of them together. So if there's unification, we'll have the best brains in the world, we'll have the most powerful economy, and we'll have we can transform that whole area into another Dubai or Singapore. But what's one thing that can stop this from happening? Only one thing can stop it from happening is ego. So is ego blocking and preventing us from having unity? Ego amongst leaders, ego amongst people, ego with political differences. In South Africa, we had harmony. I had fabulous friends. I grew up with Hindu, Muslim friends, Hindu friends, Christian friends, Tamil friends, atheist friends, different types of friends. I had friends, Deepak, Pravesh, Hitesh, Bhavesh, Kamlesh, Joshi, Anita and Bharat. I had Pillai, Reddy, Chokolingam. On Eid time, we used to give them our sweet meats because they don't eat meat. So we used to give them sweet meats, barfi and jalebi on Eid. And in Diwali, they used to give us trays of fireworks. So we used to burst the fireworks together. Then we used to go play cricket. And then they taught me a game called Gulli Danda. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So if anyone knows what is this game of Gulli Danda, please tell me. My friends taught me this. You take 2 pieces of stick, one long stick, one smaller stick. You make a hole in the ground. You scratch a hole in the ground. And then you flick the stick as far as you can. And someone must try and catch it. And then you must put your stick across your finger like this. And must try and hit it above the head. So if you remember that game, please tell me. Let me know in the comments. Do you remember this game called Gulli Danda? I don't know if I'm saying it right. But my Hindu friends taught me this game. So my proposal is, let's have unity. And we call these 4 nations the United Indian Emirates. The United Indian Emirates, or if you don't like the word just India is there, we call it the Indian subcontinent instead of just calling it India. So then we could call it the USIS, the United States of the Indian subcontinent. So instead of the United States of America, we call it the USIS, the United States of the Indian subcontinent. And then we can have fabulous further, and where we were taught this in Islam, where the Treaty of Hudaybiyah said, have peace for 10 years. So my suggestion is, let's follow the example of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Let's say we have a meeting with India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, and say, okay, for the next 10 years, we're going to stop fighting, stop civil conflicts. We're going to have peace for next 10 years. Let's just focus on growing the economy. So let's have peace for 10 years, and let's see how far that can take us. And my suggestion is, let's replace hate with love. Are you prepared to replace your hate with love? If not, why not? I personally believe that 90% of the people are good. 90% of the people want love. 90% of the people are kind. So let's not allow the extremists at the top. Let's not allow the extremists or the rotten apples to derail this fabulous idea that India, Pakistan, Kashmir, and Bangladesh must be united. Let's replace hate with love, and this philosophy can apply elsewhere in the world as well. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's possible for India, Pakistan, Kashmir, and Bangladesh to unite? If not unite, not like into one country, then we just set aside this difference. There would be like 4 different Emiratis. Like how you have the United Arab Emirates, they don't fight with one another. Then we just say, okay, we 4 countries now, India, Pakistan, Kashmir, and Bangladesh, we're going to have one passport, or with your Pakistan passport, you can go to India, Kashmir, or Bangladesh. With your Kashmir passport, you can go to any of those 4 areas. We have the same currency. We have open trade agreements. That means between the borders, there must be free flow of trade, and must use the economy, use the wealth in the nation, look for more coal mines, gold mines, look for oil in that region, and change that entire area into another Dubai, a Singapore, or a Hong Kong. There's so much poverty in India. There's so much poverty in Pakistan. There's so much poverty in Bangladesh and in Kashmir. Let's stop fighting. And let's say, okay, let's use the wealth which God most merciful has given us under the ground. The wealth that's under the ground. Where's that flag? I don't have the flag of India here. I had it a short while. Let's use that wealth that we've got. And let's use it for the benefit of all the people. Here, the green, whether it's Hindu, Muslim, or the green represent the wealth, the plant. So let's use that. And let's make this area a wonderful and a fabulous place. So let me know your thoughts. Is it possible to have? Let me know your thoughts. Is it possible to have unity, and what does that mean? Stay well. Look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.